Welcome to Rauta and Underground Trio episode 80. This time all the bands are from Finland and two of them are actually black metal, one something totally different. So we have a couple of CDs, one tape, and one is demo, one is MCD, one full album. Are you ready? Let's go from worst to best according to my own opinion anyway. First we'll head to this solo band called Grain of Pain. The Moon Lights the Way. I call this solo band, despite there are more members, session members mind you, on this album, because the main man is the one responsible basically for everything, despite having some assistance, guidance, what have you, in order to make this album. What is curious is that the CD version has 7 tracks, about 39 minutes, but when you take a look at the Bandcamp site, for instance, you will find 9 tracks in total, lasting for about 44 minutes or so. So here we have the lineup. Guitars and growls. Timo Solonen, the main man of the whole project. One could say this is his solo project. And then some session musicians, including guitars, drums, vocals, bass, vocals, additional growls. And then all the necessary information here. And the lyrics. Now, growl vocals might already give you a little bit of idea what this music is all about, at least partially, because growl vocals are kind of pointing you towards death metal. But this is more about melodic death metal, or just lightweight death metal, not even that all the way through, because there are lots of parts where it kind of gets a little bit more progressive metal direction. Now, how much is enough in order for you to figure out whether this is not actually progressive metal or just related to that goes beyond the scope of this review. But the point here is there are lots of different ideas, lots of different elements, lots of different riffs and parts where you could say this is more Soen, this is more Leprous, this is something more like melodic death metal. Curious enough, however, this on Metal Archives is listed as gothic doom slash death metal, which is a little bit weird. I don't really find this very gothic, not really doomy, because the tempo is never too slow and there are no vocal patterns that it would go, you say, pointing this one towards more, say, classic doom, epic doom, whatever. Doom death, maybe, because Solonen is known for his guitar work in Infirmum, which is then again death doom one, but this is more about a mixed salad. Some parts are really good, but then there are also parts where it just like rubs me, at least, the very wrong way. Result is being quite okay, mediocre plus, if you will. Production is very, very solid. Growl vocals can really bitch about it, but some of those overly, almost erotic, sweaty, panty vocals are like, I don't know, gets me the wrong way. But if you're a fan of Leprous or Soen, for that matter, you might like this. Go check it out, and you will find links provided in the description box anyway. The middle of the pile is a new black metal band from Finland called Beleth Trumpet. A band founded in 2023, and this demo 2024 was originally released by the band. Comes with a download code, and then this tape version was put out Korpituli Productions, which is a label focused on tape releases. So while the band had its digital copy out already there, this demo tape version has better cover, in my opinion. It looks nice, but there are no lyrics whatsoever. So what you have here is the tracks listed here and the lineup for guys, and of course this is limited edition. What you would then expect in terms of music is some kind of a very, very traditional Finnish black metal. Not bad in quality by no means, but not original either. I mean, if you have ever heard bands like Horna, Satanic Warmaster and the like, you know pretty much what to expect. Some people will think of different bands, so these are just some suggestions, some things, some names that came to my mind. But if you feel like, no, it's not that much Horna, it's more like Sargeist or whatever, yeah, go with whatever you know. But let's be assured about that. This is very, very Finnish sounding. You don't get to mix this easily with, say, Norwegian or Swedish black metal, and even less so with the Greek stuff. But it is very, very something timeless. You could say it comes from the 90s or early 2000s, but as such, it's very, very much for fans of these bands mentioned. Songwriting is pretty solid, easy to listen to, easy to like, but the lack of originality and the lack of really memorable parts are something that kind of deducts a little bit points. I'm saying, check out if you're a fan of these styles, but don't expect the next big thing just yet. It's a demo recording and as such production goes with that. Vocals are good though, so give it a go. And the best of the pile is a curious collaboration with one of the strong names coming from the Finnish underground metal scene, Hellwind-Vritrahn. And this one is a 3-song MCD with interlude in the middle and then a lengthier ending track with some 30 minutes to go, and opening track which is more, say, traditional in terms of length. 2 guys making collaboration. These are friends together, quite close to, if you have seen them at festivals and whatnot, performing live together and various bands and all that stuff. Now, those who don't know what I'm talking about, Vritrahn is mostly known for his role as the White Death main guy, the vocalist, and very, very strong live performance dude. And the same can be said in terms of live performance, especially, is Hellwind, the guy from various bands. Some will remember him for his previous work as Sargeist vocalist, ex-Sargeist nowadays, but the roots go way more back into the early 2000s. Bands like Uncreation Stone, Urn, Sacrilegious Impalement, and lots of other bands where he has been part of. The list goes on. You can check out more information, for example, on Metal Archive's site. So unlike some of the bands you will not thinking of, this is not a split. This is not split with like Vritrahn doing some, Hellwind doing some, but this is collaboration where these 2 guys are working together, and as such it's not Vritrahn / Hellwind, but with a dash. Then there is a 3rd member that I guess more in the session role, putting some female vocals in the game. They're more like a seasoning, the defining element. What is defining, however, that this is more on the fast tempo side of black metal. And while it's kind of a traditional and all that stuff, it's not overly typical Finnish stuff. I mean, you can certainly feel that Finnish atmosphere, for the lack of a better word, but I mean, it's not really your next Horna or Satanic Warmaster kind of a thing. It stands out. It's not really White Death either, or any of those bands I mentioned in terms of Hellwind. It's different, and that's the beauty of it. There are also parts like the interlude where it's get more like ritual ambient, and towards the end we go, there are parts which are more experimental in nature. So if you want to put this for some reason in the box known as split recordings, you will find out that this is melodic black metal with some keyboards in the mix to create that atmosphere, as well as ritual ambient and some experimental parts. So it's a release of its own, a unique thing, and might not ever happen again, I don't know. For some reason I'm thinking this might be not so much of a band thing, but a unique release. And if you want to figure out how is this gonna make sense to you, is like, think of what Nidhogg and Ildjorn did with Dash once again. Back in the days in the 90s in Norway. I mean, Nidhogg had his own project, and of course Ildjorn had his own band project, if you will, and yet those guys made Nidhogg / or more like Dash, Nidhogg Dash Ildjorn collaboration. And then there were bands like Sortwalker, which was more expanded version of that. My point here is, don't think this as so much as a split, but a band where these 2 names are put on the map to kind of separate it from your typical bands where just like 2 guys are making a new band, but more like Vritrahn Hellwind collaboration. If that doesn't still make you understand what it's all about, then you're out of hope and don't get this CD. But if you're interested in what these guys have to do and how they were able to make this quality MCD, well, go for it. Dig it and try to find this for your listening pleasures. I think it's a good one, even if it takes a little bit of digesting, especially in the more experimental parts as well as the ritual ambient parts. But it's worth your time. Not as easy to digest as, say, White Death, but also because it's different, it is worth your time. So for me, best of the pile here. All the links for all the bands which I got are in the description box. So check them out. Who knows if there are more added links later on, because sometimes bands later on decide to update things and expand on the various platforms and all. So don't shoot the messenger boy if something is missing, but if you think something vital is missing, let me know and I will add it to the description box. Now off you go, check out all the bands if you like, and I hope you like them. See you soon with more reviews coming your way. Bye bye.